Back, and 3, Mike Tomlin's stubborn. So those are
Has
my.
Kenny Pickett been that bad? Like, is there any signs of that he's a franchise guy?
If there is, I haven't seen him. Now look, I'm going in this with. I don't want Kenny Pickett to be bad. Like, let me say that. Like, all these Steeler fans come at me like, "Oh, you just hate Kenny." I don't hate Kenny Pickett. I hated that he was selected by the Steelers. Absolutely, I didn't like the pick at all. I don't think he's going to be good. When they put him in against the Jets, I think a lot of people were ready for it. I myself was like, put in Pickett. Like, what is there to lose? And look, I was excited after that game. You know, he came in, he ran for 2 touchdowns. They were up 10. He threw a couple interceptions, one of which was, I would say both of which were not his fault. So after that game, I was like, all right, optimism. Perhaps something gets better. Even the Buffalo game, like he's starting his first career start against the best team in football. He didn't look absolutely lost. But since then, man, I've seen there's been zero progression. He doesn't see the field well. Ben Roethlisberger, who by the way does a podcast now, and he just retired and became hilarious. Go watch footballing on YouTube with Ben Roethlisberger. It's so funny. But he was talking about.
Does he talk honestly? Does he speak honestly about the?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But he was talking about the Saints game. And who did he? I want to say he had Bob Pompiani, who's a local Pittsburgh sports guy here. And they were talking about Kenny's performance, and Bob asked Ben what he thought of Kenny. And he's like, the first play from scrimmage, Kenny had Deontay Johnson wide open for a 75-yard touchdown and just didn't look at him. And I was like, all right, that's Ben talking. I think, I went back though and watched it. I was like, all right, is Ben just saying this because if he was out in the field, he would have thrown it? He's absolutely right. Deontay had 2 steps on the guy covering him. There was only a single high safety cover 1 who wasn't all the way across the field yet. If Kenny, I don't know whether it's that he doesn't trust his arm or he just knows he can't throw that deep, but he is missing open guys. And we can blame Matt Canada for his bad play calling all we want. That is a problem. Matt Canada is bad. So is Kenny Pickett. And you know what? I was on board with like, you know what? Keep losing. Go 3-14. Draft CJ Stroud. However, my mind has changed because I want them to keep losing, go 3-14, but instead take Paris Johnson, go into next year with Kenny Pickett, suck again, and then get Caleb Williams from USC. This is a 2-year plan, gents, and it ends with Caleb Williams and a Steelers uniform. And all of my problems being washed away by the grace of that beautiful quarterback.
Hold on. What was the last time the Steelers lost like 26 games in back-to-back seasons? That would be like one of the worst stretches in Steelers football ever, right?
The last time they had a losing record was 2003. They went 6-10 that year. Let's go. You know what? Let's go. I'll get it pulled up.
Because what you want is just not something that Evan, myself, and you have seen in our lifetime from Pittsburgh.
I mean, hey, all good things come to an end. So let me see if there is a stretch that bad. So they lost 19 games from 98 to 99. They went 7-9 in 1998 and then 6-10 in 1999.
Okay.
26 games. Yeah, I don't think we're going to find a stretch until we get to like the Hoover administration. but yeah, this would be, a 24-year thing where it would be some unprecedented stuff for a while. However, I am all on board with it. All on board. And obviously Steelers fans being Steelers fans are going to be like, okay, what are they going to say about Mike Tomlin now that he can't boast? Oh, he's never had a losing record, which, by the way, I'm kind of on board with. Because I'm tired of hearing that about Mike Tomlin. You know how many playoff wins he has in the last 10 years? 2.
I was going to say, I thought 1. I was like, okay, 2. Oof.
2.
Steelers fans turning on Mike Tomlin. You heard it here first. Jarrett Bailey wants Mike Tomlin out. He wants Pat Narduzzi to reunite with Kenny Pickett to get this thing moving.
Why is Matt Canada still coaching for the Steelers?
I feel like it's the Steelers. Just they don't do that.
No, hold on. Before we just go there, why is Matt Canada still coaching for the Steelers? Why is Nathaniel Hackett still coaching for the Broncos?
That's a bigger question.
Why is Cliff Kingsbury still coaching for the Cardinals? Why are these teams such cowards? Fire your coaches.
They are. And in terms of Pittsburgh, the only thing that would make sense to me is that Kenny Pickett's already having a rough go of it. Firing his offensive coordinator probably wouldn't help. That would be my only guess. He's not going to be there next year. Whomever they go out and get had better be outside the organization, because the Steeler way of hiring from within just keeps biting them in the butt. And I'm tired of Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin, I like Mike Tomlin. His absolute worst attribute is hiring coordinators. He is god awful at it. Because before this, it was Randy Fiechner. The only other time he's hired from outside the organization was Todd Haley as offensive coordinator. And what happened when he did that? Oh, Ben Roethlisberger had the greatest 5-year stretch of his career. Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell were part of the offense, and Todd Haley. Now, Ben and Todd Haley didn't necessarily get along, but they put up really good numbers and were a consistent playoff team and were one of the best offenses in the NFL throughout that stretch. So, I don't know. Mike Tomlin needs to get his crap together because, do I think that Mike Tomlin will get fired? No. That's just not what the Steelers do. They're not going to fire Mike Tomlin. He's going to have that job for however long he wants it.
Do you think he gets a statue?
Does he get a statue? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. They didn't give one for Cowher. I don't think they'll give one to Tomlin.
Okay. Is there a chance
if he wins another Super Bowl, maybe?
Okay. I wonder with Tomlin, because he's 50. He's not Sean Payton zone right now, where Sean Payton was looking at the writing on the wall, where he was like, all right, Breeze is gone. Kamara is he's about to be priced out and a lot of tread on those tires. I don't think Jameis Winston can get me back to the Super Bowl. I think I'm just going to go ahead and eject. I have a fun life in Southern California. I can just appear on the herd once a week. I'm going to live my life and really enjoy it this season. And we'll see what happens, because I'm just going to be the most sought after head coach. Like, I wonder if Tomlin follows suit. I wonder if he would be in for a rebuild. I think he cares about his record. I think he doesn't want to do that he doesn't want to be remembered as the Pittsburgh coach who maybe had to usher in the worst 2 to 3 year stretch of Steelers football ever. Is it possible Tomlin's, this is it? We're nearing the end.
No, I don't think so. Just because as somebody who's been a fan of this team for a really long time, has covered this team now for the past few years, Tomlin just seems like a guy. Now, the one thing that I do come back to with him, and it's really recent, watch his interview with Ryan Clark and the guys on the Pivot.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I think like that, if that thought enters my mind, it's would he pull the Sean Payton air and just kind of sit it out? He is a guy, and I believe him when he says, he has a really good line in there. It says, "There's so many guys in this league that run away from coaching. I run to coaching," and I believe him when he says that. And if you watch the entire interview, you understand why guys love playing for him. So. The fact that, do you remember last year when I think he was on the radar for the USC job, or he's on the radar for the LSU job, and he just came out right away before anybody could ask him about it? He's basically saying, I'm not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he loves the team. I think he loves the city. I think that he loves the Rooney family for largely. I mean, when he was hired, nobody expected him to be hired as the head coach. He had been an assistant with Tampa Bay, with Minnesota, and he wasn't the guy that people expected to get it. So I think that he does feel indebted to the organization. I don't think they're going to fire him. I don't think he's leaving. He doesn't seem like a guy that would do TV, in my opinion. I think that if he were to take a year off or whatever and quote unquote retire, he would just chill with his kids and his wife. But I don't think he's going anywhere.
He's also an East Coast guy. I think he's a lot of deep ties in Virginia, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like LA and getting away and being like, oh, he could be the head coach of the Chargers or anything. Yeah. I don't think he's interested in that.
No, I don't think he is either. So if I had to guess right now, he's not going to get fired. He's going to have the job as long as now, if they go in 5 consecutive losing seasons or 3 consecutive losing seasons, the seat will start heating up, but it would take a lot for him to get fired, because the Steelers went through a couple rough patches with Bill Cowher. They didn't fire him. I would be shocked if they didn't give Tomlin that same patience.
Yeah. Well, we'll see tonight. Big one against the Colts, and we'll see if this.
Bet the under on that game, by the way.
well, hold on. Matt Ryan is going to be cooking. We'll see. Biggest surprise around the league for you, Evan, was where? What was the most surprising result for you?